Hey everyone, it's Eric with FirearmTutorials.com, and today I'm going to talk about the LEM hybrid trigger versus the standard match trigger. So what I've got here is a USP Expert, obviously, with a match trigger. Single action, double action, nothing special, safety, and decocker. Just straight out of the factory, haven't worked on this gun at all. This other gun started out as just a traditional USP 9 with a standard single action, double action trigger. I don't know, probably 6 or 8 months ago I put in a match trigger, just like the Expert. Single action, double action, had the ambidextrous safety and decocker on there as well. And recently I got the parts to do what's called an LEM match hybrid trigger, which the LEM trigger is a lot different than the single action double action. And when you're talking about the hybrid, it's basically a smoother LEM trigger because it retains some of the parts from the match kit. So for those of you that don't know, the LEM, you'll see here there's no safety at all on this gun. No decocker, no nothing. So if I had a loaded magazine, I would chamber around. So you see we've got a bobbed hammer here that's in a different position than it was before. Before it was completely flush. So now, if there were a live round in the chamber, this is how it would be. And then you'll see the action of the trigger is very, very light. It just kind of flops around. And gives you somewhat like a, I don't know how to describe it, it's somewhat like a Glock trigger, but much smoother, because it's a long pull, but it's very smooth, and once you actually take up all the slack, you've got a very short trigger pull, just like you do with the traditional match trigger from the single action, double action setup. So a weapon would cycle, resets fairly short, just like the match, and then you're off and running again. Same deal. So I actually compared this trigger setup to the P2000 SK, which is just with a light LEM, and the reset on this is noticeably shorter. Part of that is the match kit, and part of it is that it's a USP, which has a shorter reset in general. Now if we take a look at the traditional single action, double action, you've got, once you take up the slack, you've got a nice short pull, weapon cycles, there you've got about the same reset as you saw with the LEM, and then obviously you take up the slack again and fire. This one obviously gives you the decock feature. You don't have that with the LEM. So there's effectively no safety on this gun at all, other than the loaded chamber indicator, if you want to count that, and some of the internal features that block the firing pin, block the hammer from hitting the firing pin, like if it's dropped or something like that. So as far as shooting it, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, because for years I've so used to shooting the single action, double action, and there's a lot more, it's a longer trigger pull with this setup. So but once you get used to it, I like it. I can't decide which one I like better. I think I still like the single action, double action match trigger, but this is still a good option for any of you guys that don't like the single action, double action, or obviously for some law enforcement agencies are using this setup as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.